Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Breaking news this evening out of North Fargo. That's where police are investigating a stabbing following what's believed to be some sort of domestic disturbance. They were called to the 1600 block of Dakota Drive North around 3 this afternoon on a report of a man with a stab wound. Officers tell us when they got there, they found a car with the back window smashed in and a man with a stab wound to his right hip. Officers also tell us a woman was possibly involved in this dispute. The man appeared to have sustained minor injuries. New information tonight around a Grand Forks therapist facing charges of sexual exploitation after court records say he had consensual sex with a patient. Police say 58-year-old David Bialik turned himself into authorities yesterday. That's the same day he was booked for the sex exploitation charges. Bialik is a licensed clinical social worker employed by the Center for Psychiatric Care in Grand Forks. Court documents allege the victim began therapy with Bialik in January and in April engaged in consensual sexual contact with him. We've had a lot of overnight storms the past couple of nights, and now we're wondering how our night is shaping up for the fireworks. Hutch joins us now in your No Wait weather with the latest. Any concerns for our evening, Hutch?
Well, that's important information as we get ready to celebrate the 4th of July tonight. A lot of you want to get outdoors and enjoy. Our Skycam showing very quiet conditions up and down the valley for the most part. Out to the west and to the south of the FM area, we have a few more clouds on the horizon. Last night's rain dumped quite a bit of rain. Radar estimates of rainfall where you see the yellows over an inch, and boy, down in southern parts of Richland County, radar estimates of 3 inches south of Lidgerwood and Hankinson. South of Fargo, Moorhead is where the heavier storms seem to dump their rain, with estimates as high as 2.5 inches. There are showers moving into the Devil's Lake Basin as we speak. They'll continue to trudge through. There has been spotty thunderstorm development out to the east. By and large, most of us will stay quiet this evening as we get into fireworks time. The best chance of the spotty showers will be in our western counties from Devil's Lake south towards Jamestown. I'll have details on what you can expect for the overnight forecast, as we do have more showers on the way during the overnight, and we'll look ahead to the weekend as well.
Okay, thank you, Hutch. The Fargo Fire Department took time on this 4th of July to post to social media some firework facts that may surprise you. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz visited a big celebration to find out what we know and what we should.
A lot of folks out and about this 4th of July. Many parents say they'll either be watching or playing with fireworks or both. So we asked them what they know about some firework facts. Do you let her play with fireworks, or do you prefer her not to?
Yes, we play with fireworks.
We watch them. We don't participate in lighting them off or anything.
I'm more of a watcher, but we have to always get the sparklers to have for the kids.
Fargo Fire posting these firework facts to Facebook, reminding folks more fires start on the 4th than any other day of the year.
It's by the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Association. They recommend that nobody uses consumer fireworks. We know that's not realistic. We would say just remind people to be careful.
Captain Dan Johnson with Fargo Fire says in his 11 years, he's seen 2 very severe injuries. Both involved illegal fireworks.
They're usually higher powered, explosive type fireworks. They're just more dangerous. They're not meant for consumers to use.
The post also shows which body parts are most likely to see injuries. Johnson says, as the stats say, it's the head area as well as hands.
They try to light one, they think it didn't light, they go to check it, and then it goes off.
It was always light it and get away. And even if you don't think it's going to go, like, wait for a while, because it still might be doing something.
And many were surprised to hear just how hot consumer fireworks can get. Do you know just how hot sparklers are?
No, I'm sure they're really hot.
Do you think they're hotter than an oven, or less hot, or the same?
I would say less hot.
You know, baking something at 350 degrees, and a sparkler gets to, you want to guess how hot above 350?
I have no idea. 500?
Sparklers burn up to 1,200 degrees, well above even burning wood or melting glass. And while Captain Johnson says the 4th isn't always the most busy day here,
It varies a lot.
before we could finish the interview,
Just have adult supervision. We gotta go in around.
you gotta go?
Yeah.
In Fargo, Rose Iskevitz, Valley News Live.
We checked in with the Fargo Fire Department before the show. As of 4 p.m., they say today is still an average day with no firework-related incidents yet. A man is in jail after an early morning crash in South Fargo pushed over a power pole. It happened shortly after 2 a.m. at 25th Street and 17th Avenue. An SUV hit the pole and moved it quite a bit. Police shut down 25th Street for about 2 blocks during repairs. Xcel Energy's website said more than 90 customers were impacted in that area immediately after the crash. Officers say the driver ran off, but they later arrested 33-year-old Muhammad A. Muhammad of West Fargo for DUI refusal and resisting arrest, among other charges. Police say Muhammad had minor injuries from the crash. A 33-year-old man is recovering following an accident involving a semi-truck just north of Buchanan. Officials say 33-year-old Muhammad Albana was traveling southbound on Highway 52 this morning when his car crossed the center line and went into the opposite lane, hitting a semi-truck. Police say both vehicles came to rest in a ditch. Albana was transported to Jamestown Regional Medical Center. Officials say charges are pending and the crash remains under investigation. A fuel shortage in the state of Minnesota has sparked an emergency executive order issued by Governor Tim Walz. The order says unanticipated events, including last year's fire at an energy refinery in Superior, Wisconsin, have disrupted the normal supply of petroleum products in the state. That's caused a shortage at some gas stations. Walz's order says Minnesota motorists risk being stranded during the peak July 4th travel week if they don't have access to fuel. The executive order waives hours of service requirements to ensure carriers and drivers can deliver petroleum products. Millions are celebrating the 4th of July with parades and parties across the country. One of the biggest and most controversial is taking place on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Jay Gray is live there tonight with a closer look.
Washington, wrapped in red, white, and blue.
We're here to celebrate, show what our nation has, and I think it's great.
Just off the parade route, tanks and transports have been moved into place. Thousands filling the National Mall early for President Trump's salute to America, framed by military hardware troops and a flyover with the Blue Angels and Air Force One. A controversial celebration the commander-in-chief is calling the show of a lifetime.
The president is always there supporting the agenda for the United States.
But not everyone is sold on the show. Critics pointing to the price tag.
This will cost millions of dollars more to do this type of extravaganza, if you will. And could those resources be devoted to other situations that might make more sense?
Protesters are also gathering. Their parade includes banners, the well-traveled baby Trump balloon, and his handheld siblings.
The president is using it as his own holiday. This is the President Trump National Day, not the National Day of the United States of America.
But the president insists the focus here is on our country and those who have fought for our freedom. The back and forth, providing a different kind of 4th of July fireworks in the nation's capital. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
Some critics have even criticized President Trump for the celebration with questions on the cost of the event. Officials say there will be a traditional fireworks show to close out the festivities. Pull out your red, white, and blue and head out to Bonanzaville. Their annual 4th of July celebration is well underway. From a parade to horse-drawn wagon rides and even bounce houses, it's been a busy day at the historic site. The night will end with a fireworks show, which will begin at 10:30 tonight. This event is open to all ages, with admission being $12 for adults, $6 for kids ages 6 to 17, and free for kids 5 and under. Minnesota leaders, including the Minneapolis Parks and Rec Board, are monitoring and testing bacteria levels in lakes and pools on this busy holiday. High bacteria levels have temporarily shut down some beaches in the Twin Cities area to swimmers. The Minneapolis Parks and Rec Board will routinely monitor and test to get these beaches back open. Environmentalists test for pH and chlorine levels at nearly 500 pools within the city and county beaches.
For example, our epidemiology team did get a report of cryptosporidiosis. They would inform us and we would investigate as per their advice.
Hennepin County leaders say they monitor and inspect 31 public swimming beaches weekly. The mayor of Twin Valley, Minnesota says the closing of the town's nursing home has made a big impact on its economy. The Twin Valley Living Center closed back in November, and at that time, it employed 58 people. Twin Valley is home to 783 people total. Mayor Ben Fall says since the closure, a cafe in town has also shut its doors, and the pharmacy in town says it lost 20% of its business. Closing nursing homes are proving to be a major issue for small towns across the region.